Hi there. So in this video, I'll share my productivity system and what I do to stay on top of my task list without driving me insane. I like to think of my tasks as falling into one of the two categories. They're either to-do lists, to-do tasks that I have to just, quickly get off a list, just basic minimal tasks like replying back to an email, or it could be a recurring task like I have to post on social media or stuff like that. Then the other type of tasks that I have are part of a bigger project. They could often require complex approval processes and workflows. There are other people involved in doing that. And so these are the two broad categories that I think of my tasks falling into. So for the first type of tasks, the basic to-do ones, I like to keep them organized in a simple to-do list. Here, any to-do list that you like, any app that you like would do. Generally, I prefer an app which is basically cloud-based and can be transferred on multiple systems, so I am not dependent on any particular device. The app I like to use here is called AnyDo. It's a very simple app. It just has, I can just create multiple lists for my various different projects or various different areas like personal work. I can list all the tasks that I want to do there, and I can keep checking them off one by one. And I can also create reminders and recurring tasks. So for the things that I do more than once, like as I mentioned, posting on social media, the app reminds me itself. I don't have to remember it, and I don't even have to note it somewhere else specifically. For the bigger tasks, for the complex ones, for the projects more precisely, I like to use an app called Jira. The reason I prefer Jira over other project management tools, even though a lot of people think that Jira is more of a technical project management software, I think it's equally good for all the types of projects, even if they are not technical. And the reason is Jira for me provides all the necessary features out of the box itself, like task statuses and progress reports and everything like that. In case if there is a feature that I want that is not being supported out of the box by Jira, there is this huge Atlassian community and marketplace from where I can download some extensions and extend the usability of the tool. So that's how I like to keep managing my tasks. Also, both the tools that I mentioned are cloud-based, and hence I'm not dependent on my particular laptop or my mobile phone. I can just, transfer it into any PC and access it via the cloud, and I can stay on top of the list. So the second thing that's part of my productivity system is how I organize and access my notes, basically. So for that purpose, I need a tool that can contain all my notes, which are of various different kinds, from everything from web clippings to videos to audios to blog posts. And I like to just, one common storage place for all of them. For that purpose, I use an app called Notion, which is a free app. You can check that out. Uh, what Notion does is create multiple notebooks, and I can, multiple documents or notebooks, what you like to call them, and I can store all my web clippings right inside of it, and I can access it. It's once again cloud based, so I can access it from anywhere I want and get access to it. Notion is generally where I keep my book notes or outlines that I want to refer to, or some reference document that I want to refer to. Oftentimes, when I'm working, so there's a cross pollination between tools happening here. Oftentimes, when I'm working on a project and there is some documentation that I need to refer to quite frequently, I store that document in Notion and then link it to Jira. That's also saves me the effort of context switching whenever working alongside teams, and I can share those with my team members as well. Now comes the final part of how I consume information. So it's very, very hard, given the overflowing amount of information on the internet, to keep on top of everything and just be aware of everything that's happening. Luckily, I'm not a person who consumes too much content, yet it's substantial. I still consume a substantial amount of content, at least in the form of industry reports or HBR articles. I still consume a lot. So instead of going to all these channels and subscribing to the newsletters and then bombarding my inbox, what I like to do is I like to just bring them all in one place so that I can, in one convenient time, whenever I feel like in the day, I can just go through that list and just see whatever I want to be and keep on top of my industries and the news that I'm more caring about, more concerned about. So for that purpose, I use an app called Feedly, which is basically an RSS reader. For those of you who don't know what an RSS reader is, it simply takes, think of it this way. It simply takes one source of information and keeps getting freshly updated content from you in one common platform. So I could have four different channels, like one could be YouTube, the other could be another blog that I like to follow, a third could be some website, and it'll just take all three of these sources as sources of data, and on one common platform in one common screen, uh, just curate all the newly published content from all these sources. So this helps me the effort of going to each individual channel and reading and or consuming the content from there. I can just I could be just commuting back to home from work or in the morning, and I can just, scroll through Feedly and just get all the latest developments that I want to from the sources that I care about the most. So that's how I plan my tasks and to dos, and that's how I consume my content, and that's how I just take all that content and make sure that it's not lost somewhere in the mud of all that, and structured and stored in one place where I can easily access them whenever I want to. So that's how I manage my work. Let me know in comments what do you think about this workflow, and see you in the next one.